Actually, good morning. This is Gina, and I am coming to you from CSL Greater Boston. We are in Medford, Mass. This morning. We are live as well as virtual. So wherever you are, thank you for being here. I would love to hear from you. We want to know who's out there, where are you watching from, and how are you doing this morning? Please just put it right in that comment section. Let us know how you are today. Here at Centers for Spiritual Living, what we are is the teaching of the science of mind, which combines philosophy, religion, and science. And we bring it together for a truth, a way of living that is beautiful, that elevates the soul. And we're really going to talk about that today in different ways. Today's topic is seeing God in me. And I am Gina, and I am blessed to be in service to this beautiful community. I am the spiritual director, and I am looking forward to a workshop right afterwards. We have our vision board. So we are creating. We are going to start by being inspired by Spirit in us, doing for us, through us, and then we are going to pick what we're creating. So it is a morning of inspiration, and I am so grateful and glad to have you with us today. So the first song this morning is Beauty in You by Karen Drucker. So I am honoring that in you right now.
I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you, I see the sweetness in you, I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me, I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you, I see the wisdom in you, I see the strength in you, and so it is. I see the joy that's in you, I see your light shining through, I see the love that's in you, and so it is. I can see it, it's right there before me, I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you, I see the courage in you, and I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. And I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you, I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the power in you, and I see the greatness in you, I see the greatness in you, and I see the goodness in you now. I see the goodness in you, and I see the wisdom in you, I see the wisdom in you. Oh, I see your strength, I see the strength in you, and I see your joy, joy, joy. I see the joy in you, and I see your light shining, light. I see the light in you, and I feel the
so it is. That beauty, that grace, that wisdom, every divine attribute is within you right here and right now. Sometimes it's tough for us to see it, but others can see it in us so much easier. So this our next up is the beautiful Barbara Epstein, our practitioner, who is going to do our invocation this morning.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like you to take a nice deep breath and know that God is all there is. God is in everything that exists, the mountains, the oceans, the trees, the plants, the flowers, the birds, and every living human being, each of us is a part of God. And I go to sleep at night with this little mantra for myself: God is my only substance, source, and supply. And as I lie there thinking about that, I think about what that means to be my only substance. I recognize that within me and with each of every human being, this is so, that we are vibrational energy ourselves. And so the substance is in each individual human being, and that God is my source. I can go to my source for guidance and wisdom, and then I am supplied. The manifestations that we make through our binding our thinking with God is so very, very powerful. Each one of us, an individualization of God. And I know this to be so. And I know that the talk today is really going to be a wonderful talk because it is about seeing the God within each one of us. And I just kind of had a thought last night as I was doing this substance source and supply thing that I do as my mantra on a regular basis. And I thought the last few weeks I've had kind of one of those times when I've not felt so really totally committed and in faith and in trust as I usually am, because we're spiritual beings in human form. And sometimes our human form goes yakking away. And I thought to myself, I wonder what God is thinking. And I thought to myself, I bet God is smiling and saying, well, she's just behaving like a little brat today. And so it is. Thank you.
And so it is. And our next person that we have who's going to share is our sacred reading. And I too, many times catch myself, and it's the brat in me that's running about, and the best thing to do in those moments is not judge, simply witness and listen, honor, and then move on. And for our sacred reading this morning, our spiritual reading, it's Maria.
Good morning. So great to be here. So the reading this morning I thought would be very appropriate from, it's called this Thing Called You from Ernest Holmes. It's a small book with a lot of wisdom, a lot of words. And I show you that I have two books because this is my copy. I'm taking a class right now that we're offering with one of our practitioners. And look at it, it's all, has all my little marks. And this one I keep as a copy because I believe it's really a great book if you just want to understand what this philosophy, way of life is about. And so I have one so I can just give to someone if I feel called to do. And always a good thing to do. So it's a great, great little book. And I just wanted to share our topics being God within me. I want to share part of this book. You'll get a feel for it because it talks about spirit and all of these things in the philosophy. And then it gives you words to say, things to do, affirmations, treatments. So it's really a beautiful book. So here's a little part for you. Where had God been all the time? God had not been anywhere. The divine is always present and appears wherever recognized. As you enter more completely into conscious union with life, you will realize that the universe holds as much good for you as you can take, that you can take only what you give. You cannot draw love into consciousness through hate. You cannot draw peace from confusion. You cannot see beauty through ugliness, nor hear harmony while your ears are filled with discord. And it says, say. So we'd say this to yourself, and I invite you to say, God is right where I am. God is what I am. All that God has is mine now. I enter into conscious possession of this divine allness, this universal bounty, this perfect reality today. I know that it is manifesting in my life. You rob no person when you discover your own good. You limit no person when you express a greater degree of livingness. You harm no one by being happy. You steal from no one by being prosperous. You hinder no person's evolution when you consciously enter into the kingdom of your good and possess it today. Your thought, operating through the law of life, can meet your need, convert fear into faith, loss into gain, failure into success. Act as though you already had dominion over evil. Refuse to entertain images of fear. Know that good is the only power there is. Believe that you are governed by divine intelligence, that you are directed by divine guidance. Know that everything you say, think, or do that is constructive is done through divine authority. Know that the freedom which already exists in the mind of God belongs to you and now manifests through you. Say, and again, I invite you to say after me these words. The freedom of God is my freedom.
My freedom.
The power of God is my power.
The power of God is my power.
The presence of God is with me.
The presence of God is with me.
The mind of God is my mind.
The mind of God is my mind.
The strength of God is my strength.
The strength of God is my strength.
The joy of God is my joy.
The joy of God is my joy.
The consciousness that God is in and through everything will enable you to better see perfection and harmony in people and affairs. Know that the Spirit is right where you are. It is the very essence of your being. It is at the center as well as the circumference of your life. Learn to sense this divine presence in every thought and act. Let the warmth of color of this presence permeate your entire consciousness. Let your thought be filled with an atmosphere of helpfulness, of life, of givingness, and of peace. Know that the doorway of opportunity is never closed. Know that experience opens up before you like a blossoming flower. Live in the continuousness, joyous anticipation. The Spirit, and say, the Spirit of God within this, the Spirit within me is God.
The Spirit within me is God.
The living Spirit Almighty is within me now.
The living Spirit Almighty is within me now.
Spirit is sustaining principle of my life.
Spirit is the sustaining principle in my life.
I open my mind to its influx.
I open my mind to its influx.
I open my consciousness to its inflowing.
I open my consciousness to its inflowing.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's actually my favorite Ernest Holmes book by far, if not my favorite book, this thing called You. I truly believe it is a love letter from Spirit. Just absolutely opens my heart. And, you know, that first song that we played was The Beauty in You. And, you know, it really is about seeing it. It's about feeling it. Our topic today is seeing God in me. And when I first wrote that down, you know, there's a lot of in me that just it made me think. Seeing God in me. Now I can see it in others very easily, but when I think about I am God, it sounds a little arrogant. It sounds, that was my first thought when it came to, when hearing that for the first time. And I'm going to give you a preview of the affirmation we'll do at the end, because it is my mantra that I say all the time, all day. God in me, as me, is me. And again, I heard that and I thought, really? Isn't that blasphemy? Isn't that, because of course I came from a different religion originally. And I thought, isn't that a little arrogant? Isn't that, and all the thoughts that went with that. And when it came to this, doing this message today, that was my first thought, was my reaction to that message. Like, who do I think I am to say that, to proclaim that? And, as time's gone on, that's been removed. Like, I definitely don't have that reaction anymore. I'm not saying I always exhibit it. I'm not saying that I always feel it or recognize it, but I no longer react to it in a negative way because I know it. And I know that I know it. So we're not talking about, I am God in the sense of the ego, that I'm better than anyone else or worse than anyone else. Because even that inferior gives something power one way or another. I'm thinking more of myself to make that determination. It's not about that. It's about knowing that I was created of the Creator and I am the creation. If there's a big thing of clay in front of you and you take a part of that and you make something, it's still made of clay. And there's a lot of different things that ran through my mind, because it's not about just what you say to me. We don't see things as they are, but as we are. That's Rabbi Shemuel ben Nachmani. It's how I see me that matters. So you can tell me, or I can tell you how wonderful you are, but if you don't believe it, we're not going to demonstrate. We talked about treatment and demonstration last week, and it is the foundation of what we do. But this actually even comes before that. This is that knowing of the power that is creating through that. We we often think that we're human beings and we have a spiritual experience. But we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's not what I was raised to believe. That's not what that wasn't my first knowing. So when I first came into this teaching, there was a lot about that I'm like, well, what does that really mean? And how do I bring the two together? And as Holmes said, there's a divine spark at the center of your being, but you need to recognize this, believe it, and act upon that belief. So act as if. Even if you don't necessarily know that you know it, it's acting as if until you come into alignment with it. When I see a child, a baby especially, I see the infinite potential. I don't know how anyone could look at a newborn and not see. I mean, they're going to grow to so fast, and so much is in front of them, and I know it, and it's exciting. But it's the same for me. At what point did I disconnect? That not only did other people do that about me and for me, but that I have those exact same qualities. I just happen to be in a bigger body. I just got here first. I arrived to the party sooner. I have heard people of all ages, as a life coach, I have heard people of all ages say, I've already been doing this for so long. It's too late now for me. Literally, like it was too late to start a new career. I've seen people in their 70s, even in their 80s, starting a whole new ministry. So there's all kinds of things. So when my 24-year-old nephew says to me, "Oh, I've been doing this too long. I can't change now," I laughed hysterically because our perception is our truth. It doesn't make it true unless we've made it true. So why do we do these things to ourselves? Why do we allow ourselves to be in that place? Marianne Williams said, and this is my favorite quote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. You, we are all meant to shine as children do. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. She wrote that in Return for Love, and Nelson Mandela used it as well, and that he actually made it famous. Your greatness within you, when you hold it back, it's like being given a gift, but you're not going to use it. Spirit gave you talents. Spirit gave you so much. Are you using it? You have infinite potential. You know, I always, and then whenever I say that, I always think of Robin Williams and the genie in the lamp. Infinite power. You know, little bitty living space. Remember that line? There's for those of you that are, I'm aging myself. The original Aladdin, but it was this big, mighty genie, and he lived in this little lamp. That genie, that power, that infinite, anything in the universe lives within you. Do you remember that? Do you remember the power that comes forth from you? You think about simplest of things. Go outside, there's a breeze. But yet those turbines pull an unbelievable amount of energy. Yeah, the sun's out. Get a solar panel, when we harness it, can do amazing things. Are you harnessing and using the gifts and the talents you've given? And my answer for me is sometimes, sometimes. And that's really what it comes down to. How do I do that? How do I let spirit be spirit? God expects but one thing of you, and that is that you should come out of yourself and let God be God in you. That's it. Think about that. Come out of yourself is the ego. Let go of the story that you've been identifying with, whether it was one that someone gave you as a child, whether it was some that you're playing small to make other people bigger, whether it's a fear of some kind, fear of loss, fear of being reprimanded, fear of being noticed, fear of fill in the blank. And those are not conscious most of the time. We sabotage ourselves in amazing ways. One of the ones that I do is procrastination. I don't know why. It doesn't serve me. And I know that, and I frustrate myself. Thankfully, it gets done. But why do I need to do that to myself? The fear is not starting sooner because it's that fear of, will it be enough? Will I be enough? I've been taking classes, as many as I've mentioned, and I'm in my final semester for my ministerial license, which is, more than halfway through a master's, which in a million years, being a kid from Boston Public Schools and such insecurity about it, never would I have ever thought. I would have laughed at you. I mean, I did laugh when I first thought, I'm like, and yet here I am. And every paper, I still get insecure about starting. I had a professor that actually photocopied my first semester at BU, photocopied my paper, handed it out to the crowd, the group, and said, this is what not to do when writing an essay, and shredded it. That was as insecure as I was walking into BU from Boston Public Schools, and I was. That's what they did. Now my option is, do I run and hide and literally leave the school, or do I move forward? That's always our choices. But I already had the stigma. Then you rip me apart and I feel even worse. See, the thing is I compare myself to other people. My skills, my talents, my gifts aren't supposed to be like yours. Spirit didn't make two. That's the way it works. Each one has an individualized spark within them. He didn't make two. He didn't need two. There's only one of you. What are you doing with it? How are you living your life? What does it feel like? What does it look like? And, everybody is different. Everybody. You have the choice within you. And this particular one, of course, I love Glenda, and I've used this picture before. Working in the absolute means attuning oneself to the invisible, contemplating the qualities which we believe to be a part of God, such as love, harmony, peace, wisdom, strength, and then seeing oneself as partaking and being a part of that infinite perfection. So knowing that if it exists, then therefore I am. And of course, Linda says you had the power all along, my dear. So if spirit is love, harmony, peace, joy, love, all of these things, and there's only one. And if there's one thing that we preach here is that unity, that oneness. If there's only one, I'm not some of the ocean. If you're taking a drop out, it's not some of the ocean, it's the ocean. It may be a smaller quantity of it. What am I recognizing about it? What am I choosing to recognize? And how do I make it so that I continue to remember who and whose I am? How do I make sure that I remember? See, a lot of people, it's a sticking point. There's many terms to explain divinity. Philosophers call it infinite intelligence. Okay? Scientists call it energy. Everything is energy. The atoms, everything's vibrating at a different rate. Scientists will absolutely, everything exists with energy. It's not real. It's just that the matter. We see it because of the rate of its vibration. And theologians call it God, Spirit, the Tao, Yahweh, Principle, the Creator. We all call it something. From whatever your vantage point, we're all talking about the same thing. Whether it was the Big Bang, whether it was however it happened, the truth is there's one creator of all there is. Now there may be multiple, whatever your religion or beliefs may be, that's great. But it's still all speaking of the same thing. And created the same thing. There's not different mountains because somebody else created it. There's only one set of mountains. They're not made of different things because somebody else did it. So if that is true, then how is it that one person can be successful, attract financial wealth, attract and enjoy harmonious relationships, and another can't? Do you think we're made with just, only half the stuff? Do we not get the same ingredients? But do we just not use it the same way? Anyone can learn how to cook. Some people have that innate talent. Some people it takes some time. But anyone can get a cookbook and follow a recipe on a technical basis. They may not love it, and it may not be the same as that person who just has the knack for it, because we're meant to be better at some things than others. But anyone can use a box mix and make a cake. The same ingredients exist for the person that is the gourmet as the availability of that box for someone else. Are you using it? Is the question. So if you're not getting what you want, if you're not materializing and you are not demonstrating, you get a different box. Okay, you're not going to get a vanilla cake out of a chocolate mix. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to get an apple out of an orange tree. Where are you focusing? If you don't go inside at all, you're never going to get to the tree. What is it you're looking at? What are you looking for? What is your experience? That spark within you needs to be maintained. We need to remember that if I'm not feeling who I am, then I need to do something that changes that. But today we're going to talk about our vision boards. That's what we're doing after this. So stay tuned, and we have a workshop that's going to be coming up. It starts at 11:30. All are welcome for that. But it's not some people are worthy of having it and others aren't. Everybody is worth the life that they choose. And the truth is, and it's hard when you, especially new in this philosophy, it to me is very hard to think about, well, then why am I not demonstrating it? Why isn't it here? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Every time I am in that place of doubt, is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? In the place of frustration, I'm digging up the seed that I've already planted. But when I'm excited about it, just like when you're excited about something coming in the mail, it may feel like it takes a while to get there, but you know it's going to arrive. There's an anticipation to it. There's an excitement about it. When you're a kid, what am I going to get for my birthday? What is Christmas going to look like? Whatever it may be. When it's summertime, what are we going to do this summer? There's an excitement. That's what we need. That's the magic. That's the spark. Your life and miracles start changing. But there's something within us that we need to kindle. And the most important thing is love. Love is seeing God in the person next to us. Meditation is seeing God within us. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I'm sorry about the names. So it's one thing to see it in you, but seeing it in me when I am not feeling my best, I love that. It's meditation. It's that be still and know. Taking myself out of the busy ego mind, stopping the ride, and listening. See, the biggest blockage, I think, to manifesting that life can be the ego. Whether it makes us bigger than we think we are or smaller than we think we are, blocking that life, that truth. So what voice am I listening to? In meditation, it's not the ego. It tries. It barks at us. It's those thoughts it tells us to do. Yeah, but this needs to be done. And yeah, but. And we let those thoughts just wash away like clouds. We let them just stream away. And we are still, be still and know. And that's when we are in tune with who we really are. We have to take ourselves out of our comfort zone and put ourselves into a new place. Instead of seeing God as afar off, God is within, flowing through everything. Flowing through everything. The way that I look at it, a brain on a table, it doesn't think. A heart doesn't beat. It needs that body, that vessel, and that connection, that electricity, for lack of a better term, that life, that spark, that spirit in us, through us, as us. Mother Teresa said, seeking the face of God in everything, everyone, all the time, and his hand in every happening. This is what it means to be contemplative in the heart of the world. So I invite you this week to look at things. In its beauty, it's easy. I mean, when you look at a sunrise, a gorgeous colored sunrise or sunset, it's easy to see. That's nature's paintbrush and it's magnificent. But even in the ugly, something made that. And there's something in me that's reacting to it. So what is it? That too, whatever it is, whoever it is, that too is spirit. Everybody has something going on in their lives. There's always something underneath. We don't know why people are the way they are, but everybody's got stuff. If we really walked around knowing that that is the face of God, regardless of what they look like, that is the face of God. And then when we were frustrated about ourselves, looked in the mirror and said, that is the face of God. The love within us softens and you share. See, God in me, as me, is me, reminds me that there is nothing else. When I use that mantra, it aligns me with truth. And I don't have to always feel it. I don't have to always like whatever I'm looking at, whether it's a personal circumstance or whether it is a worldly circumstance. I certainly don't look at global warming and think, well, that clearly is a demonstration of. But what I do think is, whatever there's a seeming problem of, there's a true answer in the wisdom of that one life. I don't care what it is. Whatever created can make something else as quickly as I believe it to be so. And that's the trick. As quickly as I believe it to be so. What gave that genie the power? He believed it. If he didn't believe it, eh. So the magic is within you. You've had it within you all along. I invite you this week to be there, to do that, to live in that highest manifestation. All creation is a manifestation of the light. Hold on 1 second. All creation is a manifestation of the delight of God. God seeing himself in form. God experiencing himself in his own actions. And God knowing himself in us, as us. For the highest God and the innermost God is one God and not two, in the true living earnest forms. So what is your choice? Are you allowing the best of you to shine through? Are you waiting for something to happen? Are you waiting for it to show up at your door? Our intention in life is the beginning to turning on the faucet. Setting an intention. Affirmations are great for those who are reminders. Morning prayers or a morning routine. Daily readings. Something has to realign because my stinking thinking can happen in the blink of an eye. The ego is always waiting. Something in life must realign me to remember that truth. And when I know, when I set that intention, when I take that next step, everything else falls away and we start becoming the genie. The best part of a vision board is this realizing that, yes, the entire universe, that's my shopping cart, and anything is possible. So I say that to you now, knowing that spirit in you, as you, is you. I say that to you. What is it that you're choosing? Where is your soul guiding you? That spark, that magnificence that you were born with. For some of us, it's been waiting a while to just break free. If you're not having fun, try something different. We're here for joy. We're here for love. We're here to be the demonstration that shows other people that they too can. Who am I to? Who are you not to? You've been given a gift. Unwrap it. Use it. And when you do, you'll get more and more and more and more to share. So I thank you. I thank you all for being here with me and for remembering that spirit is right where you are. Remembering who and whose I am in each moment. I invite you to celebrate it and stay with us because we do have our workshop that's going to start at 11:30. It's to set your intentions. So very excited about that. And we have, I wanted everybody to say this affirmation with me because I do love it. If you can just say it with me. God in me, as me, is me. And you can feel free to use whatever word that you feel for that, whether it's spirit, whether it's the universe, whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you use. Spirit is the breath that I breathe, as well as the breather. And that pure love is very flexible. So whatever I call it, it's just happy that I call it. So that I am in that place of knowing that of you. As I look at each one of you, I see that light, that spark. Let's remind each other this week and let's really see it in everyone and everything that we see. So let's make some magic. So we've got announcements because there's a lot of good that's happening and it's exciting. And I wanted to start with fellowship. Normally we have a half-hour fellowship after service, but that half hour is when we're setting up. But this is the link to get into the workshop. So I want to make sure people don't go anywhere. The vision board workshop, it's just suggested love offerings, and you can do that in the same way that you would make your sacred giving. So our sacred giving affirmation, you could say it with me, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And that is part of that ebb and flow of life, is when we give, we receive. So be in that place of divine circulation. And if it's for the workshop that you're actually making the donation, you can go right online. These are our different ways to do it. You can do it through PayPal, you can do it to text, and just make a note if you can, if it's for the workshop, or you don't have to make a note if it's for a regular donation. Everything that we do is because of these. So thank you for making it possible, for circulating that good. And a reminder that every Sunday at 5 p.m., we are on New Thought Media Network. So we are global and we are going out to any and every. There's a class that is coming up and begins on the 16th. So it's very exciting. It is 8 Wednesdays. It's Reverend Dr. Tony Lamato, Conscious Aging Connection. She's amazing and it is going to be a wonderful workshop. Any questions on that, just let us know. And at the last Sunday of every month, we have a workshop. And Reverend Dr. Barry Fleet is going to be doing his workshop. And he's also going to be doing the message that day. But his workshop is the science of keeping your New Year's resolutions or any goals. And he has a beautiful book, Move into Your Magnificence. I encourage you to look into that as well. So that will be the last Sunday of the month, so February 27th. We have two this month because of the snow, our blizzard last one. So just keep that in mind. We also have visioning first Monday. Well, actually, every Monday we have visioning. That's the link for that. It is on our website as well as in our newsletter. So I am so grateful to you. We have so much good happening, and I thank every one of the people that are helping that happen. We have a wonderful council. We have a wonderful team of people that are helping that. So stay with us for our, please stay with us as far as our workshop goes. It's going to be at 11:30 on the fellowship link. So make sure that you can go to our Facebook page or our website at cslboston.org. Sorry, it took me a minute. And you can find your way to us. There's always links there. Sign up for that newsletter and you don't miss anything at all. So I am grateful. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to end with a treatment. Knowing truth, claiming that perfect vision, that perfect understanding, that perfect knowing. So I invite you to just take a breath where you are. I know there is only one power, one presence, one love, one life, omniscient, omnipresent, and opulent. This one, in and as all, includes me. I am that wisdom, that power, that freedom. And as I know it of me, I know it of each one. Each one is that absolute light and love, harmony and joy, infinite in all ways. Each one is an individualized expression of that one love and life, of divine. And I know that perfect wisdom, that one mind is connected to each one, that there is an answer for any seeming question. And right here and right now, I pluck out any weeds of doubt, fear, or insecurity. I let go of any seeming lack, anything, including that ego that might seemingly block the light of divine. Right here and right now, there is a clear, easy stream from that infinite spot within. It is easy to recognize my good. It is easy for each one to recognize the gifts, the talents, and to use them. Right here and right now, I know only prosperity, harmonious relationships, and perfect health. I claim the good that is my birthright and the birthright for each one, knowing that that light within can never be extinguished. There is nothing blocking that power within. It is unharnessed, it is let go, and we are in that magnificent universe, knowing that anything is possible, knowing whose and who I am. And as I know that of me, I know that of each one. So I celebrate it. I celebrate the knowing, and I let spirit and the law be the doer. Let God be God. I let it be easy. I set it free and I let it be, knowing it cannot come back void, knowing filled with gratitude and knowing joyful anticipation and expectation of the miracles to flow forth. So in that knowing and in that gratitude, in that celebration, setting it free, I say amen, blessed be. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for seeing the divine in yourself. And I invite you to make that the practice this week. Everything I see is fine. And that includes me, that includes you. When you look in that mirror, I love you and I honor you. And I invite you to say that to yourself every day. I love you and I honor you. And in that knowing and in that joy, thank you for being here with us. So much good, and I look forward to seeing you at the workshop. And the final song that we're playing today is You Are the Face of God. So I know that of you, and I'm so grateful to see it. Namaste and have a blessed day.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God.
You are the
Tu
face of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
تو
of God.
روح خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are